You might even be able to have a little swimming hole in here somewhere amongst the trash, but it's its own issues. They all have their own issues, you know. And then the perfect ones you do find, they cost you like your firstborn and maybe a grandchild. What do you find better selling, like properties like this that they share access, like let's say it's a 40 acre, and there's a quick look at this listing we're going to see in today's episode. It's more than what we want to spend, but if all right, so here's the road coming in, so that does lay out pretty good. So the road, it basically dead ends. All right, here we go again, just leaving the farm, still on gravel. Today's Saturday. I'm going to look at either one or two farms, I'm not sure. I'd like to look at two, but we got to look at where it's at in relation to the first one. Today I'm going, let me get my directions right, I'm going west instead of east. Going towards Lebanon instead of towards St. Louis. So we'll see. Well, looks like another beautiful but hot, you know, probably 90s again. Sunny day though. I'll take it. All right, man, let's have some adventure today. It's a good day to be alive and still be able to function a little, so we're gonna make the best of it. Beautiful day for a road trip. Who says there ain't mountains in Missouri? Oh yeah, Eurythmics. Oh yes. Sweet dream action, baby. Oh yes, it's gonna be a beautiful day today. Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? I travel the world. Got a pretty view there, man. Beautiful.
72 the overnight low on Sunday.
So when you're looking at land, yourself included, myself included, if you're not planning on living on it, of course you got to look at the drive time. You know, you also got to look at the quality of the drive time. This one is mostly on I-44, so for me hauling equipment and that, it's a thing. You got to look at that, but pretty quick here. You're gonna still get that driveway on the left going up that mountain. It's actually a power line, but I thought that was pretty neat. It's a lot steeper than what it looks anyways. As soon as we hit the driveway, you're gonna see then I have to consider all the challenges of getting equipment there and all of the logistics that would go with that. All right, is that even legal? Wow. Off the highway, now we're out in the sticks. Beautiful country. We're near Lebanon, Missouri. Farm country, cattle country, hill country. Woo! Yeah. Alright, detour. There's a garage sale here, but it's all cool looking stuff. I got a bunch of old cars and stuff out here. Gotta stop in and check it out. I'm early anyway, so that's good. Oh, you got a bunch of old signs and stuff up by the barn. This is kind of cool, except for parking maybe. Best offer, 500, 2,500. These are all sun faded. Oh, compressor there, wow. All right, no one came out. The barn is closed up. So it was cool seeing this stuff. I did not stay very long. Let's get back on the road trip. Tell you, the yard is really nice and clean for having all this stuff. Brand new road surfaced here. We're getting close. Just kind of give you a feel for the neighborhood. It's a very nice area. I haven't seen really no places. It's nice to get on the farm to look at. Or way out in the southwest part of the state. Nice to get our road paved. I live on one of these days.
Only electric.
This looks like the entrance here. All right, so at first I was like, cool, road access, blacktop access. I kind of assumed that this was the property right here. Well, as you're going to see, that's not the case. And if this is your first video you're catching, I'll put some links in the description to the last 4 or 5 that I have looked at. 2 of them are on our radar for sure right now. But anyways, this is a shared road access, which is, it's actually very common, not just in Missouri, but in other states. You know, when we used to invest in Wisconsin, it was the same thing. You know, to get to 40s and 20s out in the back, you had to share an easement. Let's check it out. So I'm not sure what this road is. I'll pull up my Onyx and see if looks like if it's a shared road or if this is all. I'm gonna guess it's shared because it ain't gated off. All right, if I can raise my arm on it, I'll in there. So he's a road. All right, check it. All right, we got a little road sign here. All right, I gotta figure out which way I'm going. There's a fire number right here. All right, we went left at that junction, and I got a half mile to go until my pin drop, which is the barn. So I don't know. This must be like a public gravel lane, even though it's just a lane. We'll get some answers though. Quick look at this listing we're going to see in today's episode. It's more than what we want to spend, but if you're looking at possibly subdividing a property, sometimes you got to go bigger. We do have an approval for X amount of dollars from a local bank at interest only, which is huge. That's a huge big deal when you're an investor. So that's good. It's got a 48 by 30 foot outbuilding with electric, which you will see here. Shape is a little odd, but it all depends on like road access and how properties, you know, lay out. If you're looking at maybe, you know, subdividing it down. It's saying there's internet access, fresh survey, trail system, live creek, wet weather creeks, and a spring. 216 acres. Property details. Okay. Let's look at the pictures here quick so you kind of know what we're going into. Okay, let's look at the pictures. There's the building we're going to see. That's like right when you nick the property. You take this long access road in, which you will see. Now, this building would be great to have on that creek access one that we really like, that I looked at a couple weeks ago. Man, to have a building already there that you could put your equipment in it, because it's going to be long distance working on, you know, any project property, unless we could find one close, which I got another one I got my eye on. It's only 20 minutes out of Rolla, but it has some issues of its own. But anyways, I'm not sure if we saw this field. We'll get on our ground tour. So anyways, 216 acres, they're asking $597,000. Of course, everything is negotiable in real estate. There's your internet fiber. This is where we're going to start our tour basically here, but I'm going to show you the road going in and the access first. So let's get into it. Somebody just made this clearing. You see all that chaff in that? That's why I don't particularly like forestry mulcher. Good luck getting something to grow in that, and for a couple years. I see an opening up here, so it must be the barn. Okay, we got a mobile home here. Just definitely not inhabited. It's got windows busted out, but there's power. Again, I don't know the layout here. I mean, it's definitely being used. I could see there's chairs and rainwater collection, and there's a skid steer with the mulcher right there. All right, well, I guess we made it. I see looks like Lucas is already here.
Good for storage. Your stuff out of the weather while you're not here.
Yep. Looks like they got what, solar, or they got?
I think it's hooked up to there's a power line that runs right there. I think it's hooked up to that. It's on.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this one, this is basically where your property would start, and then this continues to that home site back there. Well, what do you think?
Well, let's go for a ride.
Let's go for a ride. All right, so here's the road coming in. So that does lay out pretty good. So the road, it basically dead ends. This is where the steel barn is, right here. So that's kind of good. There is one more home site at the very end of the dead end gravel, but it's all the properties over here to the right and then to the north. And so this is a really pretty remote, a nice property with the creeks you're going to see. But just so you know, this is kind of where the property begins. We will pass this home site here, and we're going to start on this trail right here, and we're going to go up this way. Fence line right there, an old fence line.
Yeah.
What's that?
That's that other property, so that's where that road leads up to.
Oh, the next property? Okay.
Yep.
So I do like there was a fence you just saw on the left side. There it is right there. I like the ingress and egress being right on the property line and by that house. So for hunting purposes, and even if you wanted to build or something back here, you're coming in and out is on the very edge of the property, so you're not disturbing the middle of your property, or the north end or the east or the west. Like if you want to put food plots in or whatever, build a private cabin. So I do like the way the ingress and egress road is set up. What do you find better selling? Like properties like this that they share access, like let's say it's a 40, and there's a bunch of 40s out here or something. Or do you find that stuff that's like on its own little road, right off of a road, sells better?
I don't know if either one of them sells necessarily better, but some people just don't like the shared access, which is fine. That's preference, I guess. Me personally, I don't mind it as long as there's no issues with it, as long as it's a legal deed of easement. back here.
Hey guys, Kapper here. Welcome back. Finally, we got a merch store for you guys. A lot of people have asked for it over the years. Anyways, we got some cool new stuff. This shirt is my favorite. It's got the round logo, and you can see it on the back. We got a couple of different ones. This one is a little bit different logo, but they all say the Kapper Outdoors, living the dream 1 acre at a time. There's different colors. This is obviously a child's shirt. There's ball caps, which I need to get a few of them. I don't have any yet. I'm waiting to get a couple of those. Coffee mugs, pens and pencils, all kinds of weird stuff. Anyways, if you want some cool merch for yourself, show us a little love. We'd appreciate that. I will put a link in the description, and let's get back into today's video. Thanks a lot. Can't count how many of them I've cleaned up over the years.
Yeah, with the shared stuff, the problem lies when it's just like a handshake agreement. That's no good.
Yeah.
And obviously, you want it as a legal easement. Some of the coolest places I've been have been down shared roads. You know.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's the only way you could possibly get to it. You know.
Well, true.
That a lot on kind of like river kind of property. Sometimes there's only one way in. It's not like you can cross the river to get in either. So
yeah. So that mobile home there, do you know if he owns that part?
The one that you pass coming in. I think that is something they previously had sold.
Oh, okay.
It looked like, because I had asked him somewhere, I saw that he may have had some additional acreage. He said they had sold whatever that additional acreage was. I'm suspecting it was that mobile home. That old photo.
So there's a little micro plot here on the left. It's obviously overgrown and not planted, but that could be a nice micro plot. The terrain is pretty good. Doesn't appear too totally steep, although we're going to go down to a bottom and check the creek here, but it's got a nice wide ridge top, as you could see here, with lots of opportunity, you know, if you really wanted to improve it. But if you're with our channel, you know I like to have two ways the in and out if I can. So let's say that was a micro plot, or you're going to make one further down the road. It would be nice to have its own little driveway to that microplot, so that every time you run the main trail, you're not bumping it out. But that's just me. It's just food for thought. Let's keep going.
We're side on that tree. We're leaving the property. Around.
So yeah, I mean, like this is, you know, is that neighbor using this trail for access?
Looks like he fronts the road over here, so I doubt he uses this for access. This would be an interesting easement for him to have his only access at.
Well, yeah. He's probably not his main one, but
he fronts this road over here, which is a road that comes off of the highway we came in on. We have to see on title if there's anything going through there. I doubt it, but.
So basically what I'm asking him here is actually common. So we hit the property line, you know, one of the like bump outs, but the trail continues. You know, as these properties get cut up, that's normal. You just want to know, hey, does somebody still use this road? And do they have a handshake? Does they say to the neighbor, yeah, you can use my main road to go through? Just something you want to know. There definitely probably ain't no legal easement for it, but just food for thought. And as we keep cutting land up smaller, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. We tried to avoid it all these years, but where we grew up at and we invested in land, that's how a lot of people made a lot of money, even on hunting land. And it's kind of the way of the world because things just get so expensive because of inflation and our government and all that, which I'm not going to get into. But my point is that people can't afford 100 or 200 acres. A lot of people, but they can maybe afford a 20 or a 40. So that's just food for thought. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Let's carry on.
1.5 and almost 3. I'm thick of it right now.
Oh boy, yeah. You know, now if this whole thing started like right there, like right off of the road or something.
Yeah.
Wow, the janky, the 2 home sites right there.
Yeah.
To me, that would be much more likable. Another cleanup lane there. Clean up aisle 5.
Yeah, crazy to think about how stuff gets back here, you know?
Yeah.
Water down there. Nothing like the other creek now.
Oh, is this the creek?
Trickling down through there.
Yeah, yeah, definitely not like that. All right, so this is the creek access. They're listing this as year-round. You know, with one this small, I can't say if it's year-round or not. Honestly, creeks are not the same. There's so many different ones. I mean, look at that. I mean, now this is really pretty here. I see a bunch of minnows swimming in here, a bunch of wild fish, of course, right down in that pocket. But, you know, compared to that property I looked at a couple weeks ago, that, you know, that creek was, you know, whatever, 30 foot across in the middle of summer during a drought. So water, creeks, ponds, they're not all the same. They're not all the same. Cool area, cool trails to ride in down here. And yes, for your wildlife, you're going to have year-round water in there. You might even be able to have a little swimming hole in here somewhere amongst the trash. But honestly, this is normal. I can't tell you how many Sharon and I have cleaned up of trash. You get your tractor. This shouldn't prevent you from buying a property, honestly. If anything, it should motivate you if you can get a good deal. You get your tractor or your ATV with a little pull behind. You clean the trash up, pay for a dumpster one time, fill it, empty it, you know, work on it for weeks or months, and you clean up your property. No big deal. Trash should not deter you on a property. Here's a creek bed in the trail. Pretty cool stuff, but we're getting close to winding this one up. I think I'm about to get bit by a black widow or something. I don't know what that one is. Get off there. Alright, we're heading back. Sell properties, they sell fast and they sell high. So this is up by the front. There's a home site or something right there, but I'm pretty sure this is the fence line right here. All right, that's where we're going to wrap it up. We pulled the plug on the tour. Not a bad property, but for what we're looking for, we're going to go ahead and pass on this one. Plus, it's a little bit out of our price range. Not that we couldn't stretch things for an investment property, but just not in this case. So shout out to Lucas again from Living the Dream. Appreciate the time and energy. Like I said, we do have a couple on our radar. I mean, I'm about to put ink on one of them, maybe. You'll see, hopefully in due time. It has its own issues. They all have their own issues. You know, and then the perfect ones you do find, they cost you like your firstborn and maybe a grandchild. So you got to weave the line. You got to, you know, if we were all bazillionaires, this wouldn't matter, but it matters. It matters every day, even if you're looking at a 10, a 5, a 7 acre piece. Because if that's all you can afford, then that's what's in your wheelhouse, and all these principles are the same. Line pressure, excess, water, it's all the same. Whether you're buying 2 acres or 200, a lot of those things are very similar. So thanks for joining us. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed it, and stay tuned.